sessions. Since we have done with PDF, I couldn't write my answers over there. So I asked you to come to the lecture with your handout, plus you must have a pen to write down. So please go to page number 6. So I am reading the answers. This is the answer key. So you please copy it over there. Please plug in your earphones. And when you are not able to write it well, please play it again and again until you write the answers, because these questions are very important. Only these type of questions will be given in the exam as well. The first question, on the one hand, comma, this is the strategy is education a reflection of society, and the strategy is getting meaning from context. So on the one hand, comma, there are many advantages to this system, full stop. On the other hand, there are also several drawbacks. So what is the answer? On the one hand is already done, it is done for you as an example from one point of view. Then on the other hand, you need to write the answer, what is the meaning of the word on the other hand, not the word, it is an idiom. What is the meaning of the idiom on the other hand? It means from another point of view. This is getting the meaning from the context. Here we are looking for the punctuation marks, dash or hyphen or parenthesis, that is within the brackets, or comma. After that the meaning will be normally given. So the second question, in number of countries, comma, education is both compulsory hyphen required hyphen and universal, comma, available to everyone, comma, at least in primary school, within the brackets elementary school. So it is obvious, the first one, it is compulsory. Compulsory means required. After compulsory there is a hyphen, that means required. Then the second word is universal. After universal there is a comma, it means available to everyone. And the third one is primary school. After primary school the answer is given in parentheses, that is within the brackets. The answer is elementary school. Primary school means elementary school. So let me move to the next slide. So question number 3. There are many more schools in cities than in rural areas. This is guessing the meaning from the context. The underlined word is rural. What do you mean by rural? Rural means country or not urban. Not the city, not the town. Something like villages. So you can write any of the answers, country or not urban. Both are right. Then public schools are both free and egalitarian. All students are considered equal and learn the same material. So here you need to guess the meaning from the context. So here you find the answer of this word somewhere in the within the sentence. So here egalitarian means equal. Then question number 5. College students need great discipline, semicolon, in order to make time for their studies, comma, they need the self-control to give up hobbies, comma, sports and social life. Here the word discipline means self-control. Here the meaning of the word is somewhere within the sentence. So these are the first 5 questions, and still we are left with 2 more. So let me go to the next slide. Affect the entire family because there is a high status, comma, or social position, comma, for a whole family in which children have high test scores. So the answers to be found are entire and status. Entire means whole. The answer is within the same sentence, somewhere else look for it. In the first line the question is entire, the answer is in the second line whole. Then status. What do you mean by status? Status means social position. Status, comma, or social position, it is divided, it is separated by comma, and after the comma the meaning is clearly given. And the last sentence, students themselves decide if they want college hyphen preparatory or vocational classes in high school. No national exam determines this for them. This is guessing the meaning from the context. What do you mean by the word determines? Determines means decides. So this is on page number 6. These are the answers for getting the meaning from context. So after that we need to move to the next activity where we are supposed to do the answers. So after that, please go to page number 9 of your handout. It is on page number 9 of your handout. Please go to page number 9. So first read it. After you read, so you are supposed to read, I asked you to come class prepared. You are supposed to read page number 6 and 7. Page number 7 and 8. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 paragraph. A, B, C, D, E, F. Could you see them? A, B, C, D, E, F, and each paragraph has a title. The first one is left. In the second paragraph you have Mexico, that is B, and third paragraph you have Japan, that is C, and fourth paragraph you have Britain, that is D, fifth one the United States, E, and sixth one conclusion, F. After reading these passages, please turn to page number 9. What I am showing you on the slide is just a picture, the Photoshop, the screenshot of page number 9. Here what are you supposed to do? After you write, reading a passage may include many ideas, but there is only one main idea. This is the most important idea, comma, or point of the reading. It is the main point, thought, or opinion that the author has about the topic. It is an umbrella that includes all of the more specific ideas and details. The main idea is usually stated in the introduction. Often, it is repeated in the conclusion. I read this paragraph once again. I will explain this again and again until you make it clear. A reading passage may include many ideas. When you are reading, how many passages are there in our text? There are 6 passages. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A, B, C, D, E, F. Passage, or you may call it even a paragraph. So within a paragraph, what do you have? You have many ideas. Not one single idea is explained over there. But there is only one main idea. The main idea is something on which the entire paragraph revolves. So all the lines, all the things are focused over there. This is the most important idea. Or point, main idea, or main point, or important idea are all the same. So now we are going to pick that main idea from the passage. It is the main point, or the thought, or opinion that the author has about the topic. What the writer is talking about. What is he or she describing here? What is the focal point here? It is an umbrella that includes all of the more specific ideas and details. Just like an umbrella, when it is raining, what you do? You need an umbrella. So you can't go in the rain. So you cover your head with an umbrella. So what will happen? All the water will be separated. It would be going here and there. So umbrella means something covers. What is covered? Your head is covered. Your head is protected from the rain. So this is the main idea. All the ideas, all the episodes will be going around. The main idea is usually stated in the introduction. Stated means explained. Introduction means at the beginning. And what do you have at the ending? You have the conclusion. So normally the main idea would be there at the beginning of each paragraph, but there is no specific rule. Sometimes it may be somewhere in the middle, sometimes it may be in the end. Sometimes you may find some paragraphs without any main idea. So here our strategy is identifying the main idea. We are going to do the activities one by one. So for this you need to read the passages again and again, then only you can understand it. Our course is reading, so reading is very much needed. So I told you many times, reading is the greatest university in this world. We are reading for understanding. So for understanding, first we need to identify the main idea from each and every paragraph. Then we need to read it further. So look at it. What do you mean by identifying the main idea? You need to do the exercise. So I am giving you 2 paragraphs, and from these 2 paragraphs you need to find the main ideas. What are the paragraphs given? The first paragraph and the last paragraph. Paragraph A, that is introduction of the entire essay, and paragraph F, that is the conclusion of the entire essay. So these 2 essays you need to identify the main ideas. Find one sentence in paragraph A that seems to be the main idea of the entire reading passage. Find one sentence in paragraph A that seems to be the main idea of the entire reading passage. full stop. Then find another sentence in paragraph F that seems to mean about the same. Write them here. So for this, you need to go back to page number 7 and 8 once again. So I am asking you to read paragraph A and paragraph F, that is first paragraph and the last paragraph of the essays again. So what is the title of the essay? Education, a reflection of society. And paragraph A, I am going to read it. Please look at it in your handout once again. Visit schools anywhere in the world, comma, and you will probably notice a number of similarities. Full stop. There are students, comma, teachers, comma, books, comma, blackboards, and exams everywhere. Full stop. However, a school system in one country is not identical to the system in any other country. Full stop. It can't be exactly the same because each culture is different. Full stop. The educational system is a mirror that reflects the culture. Full stop. Look at the school system, comma, and you will see the social structure and the values of its culture. This is the paragraph. I read it again, and while I am reading, you need to underline the important words or the strange words what you don't know. Take your own time, try to understand this passage, and tell me which line or which sentence seems to be the main idea of the entire passage. I read the paragraph once again. Visit schools anywhere in the world. I'm not going to explain. You need to find out the main idea of the sentence. How many sentences are there? Look at them. And pick the main idea of the sentence. Mostly the main idea would be in the introduction of the passage. Visit schools anywhere in the world and you will probably notice a number of similarities. There are students, teachers, books, blackboards and exams everywhere. However, a school system in one country is not identical to the system in any other country. Full stop. It can't be exactly the same because each culture is different. The educational system is a mirror that reflects the culture. Look at the school system and you will see the social structure and values of its culture. So where is your answer here? Where do you find the answer to this paragraph? What are you supposed to do? You are supposed to find the main idea of the paragraph. Main idea, main point, main opinion, on which the entire paragraph revolves, where the idea is considered as an umbrella idea, where the writer is focusing most of the things in the paragraph. There are many ideas, but the most important idea about which the remaining ideas are moving around has to be identified. Then the second one from paragraph F. Please turn the page. Please go to paragraph number F. That is page number 8, the last paragraph. It is clear that each educational system is a reflection of the larger culture, hyphen, both positive and negative aspects of its economy, values and social structure. Full stop. Look at a country's schools, and you will learn about the society in which they exist. So then what is the main idea of this passage? So in this passage there are only two sentences. I read the paragraph once again. It is clear that each educational system is a reflection of the larger culture, both positive and negative aspects of its economy, values and social structure. Look at a country's schools and you will learn about society in which they exist. So you need to find out the main ideas of these two paragraphs. So you need to write the answers over there. Got the idea? Where is your answer? If you are not able to find the answer, let me move to the next slide where I have given the answers. Nothing to worry. So you can write your answers here. If you are not able to find your answers, read the paragraphs again and again. Paragraph A and paragraph F. That means paragraph number 1 and paragraph number 6. Paragraph A is the introduction, paragraph F is the conclusion. So the main idea would be in the beginning of the paragraph. I gave you the clue also. So search for it, write it here. If you are not able to write it, nothing to worry. Your answers are given here in the next. First one, paragraph A, the answer is The educational system is a mirror that reflects the culture. Can you find the answer? Yes. This is the answer. The educational system is a mirror that reflects the culture. Okay. And the next one, paragraph A, the first sentence itself. It is clear that each educational system is a reflection. It is clear that each educational system is a reflection of the larger culture, both positive and negative aspects of its economy, values, and social structure. There are only two sentences. The second sentence or the first sentence might be the answer. I told you. So these are the answers. Please carry them or copy them into your handout. For paragraph A, the main idea is the educational system is a mirror that reflects the culture. And for paragraph F, the answer is it is clear that each educational system is a reflection of the larger culture, both positive and negative aspects of its economy, values, and social structure. So now after identifying the main idea, we need to do for the remaining. There are 6 paragraphs, you remember. So we need to find out understanding the reading structure. So next slide. That means what is the next activity? We are still with page number 9. So while you are doing with this, you need to look at your handout as well. So plug in your earphones and look at the video, and at the same time keep your question number 6. Page number, what is the page we are? We are on page number 9. Okay, understanding reading structure. Paragraphs divide reading material into topics or subjects. One paragraph is usually about one topic, and match the paragraphs from the reading on page number 6 to 8 with their topics below. So I am giving you only the content of the paragraph. So you need to do this activity. Write the letters of the paragraphs on the lines. Understanding reading structure. Paragraphs divide reading material into topics or subjects. One paragraph is usually about one topic. This may be the central idea. This may be the main point, main idea of the paragraph. Match the paragraphs from reading on page number 6 to 8 with their topics below. Write the letters of the paragraph on the lines, and the first one is done for your example. The first one is conclusion. Education as a reflection of the society. And go back to the paragraphs, that is page number 7 and 8. Paragraph 7 and 8, paragraph number A, B, C, D, E, F. I will give you time. You need to read the paragraphs again and again until you get the complete meaning of the paragraphs. So take your time, and then you need to identify the points, and you need to write the label, because each paragraph is given with a label A, B, C, D, E, F. So F is done, that is conclusion. Education is a reflection of the society. Next one, a country that places a lot of importance on education and makes students take difficult exams. A country that offers education to everyone but also has problems in its schools. A country where equality and national unity are important. A country where social class is very important. So the first one, it is not having any title, that is introduction, understood. Second paragraph, Mexico. Third one, Japan. Fourth one, Britain. Fifth one, United States. And the sixth one is conclusion. So I give you a time here. So or you pause your lecture here. So you read the paragraphs. Just you pause your lecture, because you need to read the passages again, and then you need to write the answers. I will give you time. Just or you pause it. You pause your video and answer. Hope you have done with your answers. So now it's time to check for the answers. Let me go to the next slide. Here you have the answers. 6A, that is the introduction. 2C, the country which is connected with the comment is C, that is Japan. Third E, so what do you have in passage number E, that is United States. 4B, Mexico. And 5D, that is Britain. So this is the way we need to identify the main ideas from the reading structure, that is called understanding reading structure. Now we need to the next activities, that is please go to page number 10. Please open your handout. Page number 10, activity number 7. So checking vocabulary. Check your understanding of vocabulary from the reading selection. So we have the essay. We have divided it into 6 paragraphs, A, B, C, D, E. So read the definitions below and write words and expressions that fit in these definitions. The letters in parentheses refer to paragraphs in the reading. Look at them. A paper containing the laws that a country is based. These are the paragraphs. Paragraph number B. So where do you come across this word? It is on parenthesis after the idiom or the word or the phrase. The word is the paragraph reference is given. So you need to guess the meaning. If you don't know the meaning, please look into the dictionary and write down the meanings here. The first one is done for you. A paper containing the laws that country is based on. It is in paragraph number B. It is called Constitution. Then second one B. That means the second one is also from paragraph number B. Indians. Who are referred to Indians? Are the people from the India, from the country India. Then third one, far away from towns or cities. Far away from towns and cities. That is also from paragraph number B. Far away from towns or cities. What is the related word? You need to write it in the blank. Number 4, a school for a job training. This is in paragraph number T. It is a school where you get the training for getting a job. And again from paragraph number D, to have enough money for something. Then question number 6, fees. That means money for education. It is in paragraph number 5, that is E. And the last one, sides, parts, characteristics. It is in the last paragraph, that is titled as conclusion, F. So look for the words from these paragraphs. Try to find out these words from the paragraphs. Already those words are given in italics or in bold or in color. In the last lecture we just underlined them or highlighted them. Look for those words. Checking vocabulary. Check your understandings of vocabulary from the reading selection. Read the definitions below and write words and expressions that fit these definitions. The letters in parentheses refer to the paragraphs in the reading. So pause the video here and write down the words and then go to the next slide to find the answers. Please pause it. Please pause your video and take out your pen and write down the answers in your handout. Then you can check the answers in the next slide. So the first one is a constitution, a written document where the laws are written, what the country is going to follow on. Then the second one, Indians. What do you mean by Indians? Indians means native or indigenous people. The native people, people who are born and brought up in America are called Indians, red Indians. Indians don't mean here the people from India. The citizens of India are also called Indians. But here in this context, it is native people or indigenous people, those who are really born and brought up over there. They are not migrants. They are not the expatriates. They are not from some other places. And the third one, what is the expression third one? Far away from towns or cities. This is called isolated. Those who are far away from the towns or cities are known as isolated. Then the fourth one, a school for job training, where you get a job training from a school. You get admitted in a school that will be giving you the skills that would be helpful for you to get a job. This type of school is called vocational school. So this is in paragraph number D. Then number 5, to have enough money for something. To have enough money for something. This is also in paragraph number D. What do you mean by to have some enough money for something? Effort. F-F-O-R-D. A-F-F-O-R-D. Then sixth one. Fees or money for education. Fees, money for education. E. This is tuition. This is tuition. This is in paragraph number E. Then sides, parts, characteristics. What do you mean by them? Sides or parts or characteristics. It is in the conclusion, paragraph number F. What does it mean? Aspect. A-S-P-E-C-T-C-S. So check your answers. If your answers are matching with the key, that means you have read the paragraphs very well and you have answered them also very well. So when you can't get the idea well, you need to read it as many times as possible. This is the way to extract the meaning from the context. So the successful reader will be one who has many words in his or her stores. The more words you know the meaning and their usage, that means you are rich with vocabulary. So we need to increase the size of our vocabulary by learning new words and their meanings. Then let me go to the next one. Another strategy. Strategy means clues. This is all we are learning, the clues to reading. So we are still with page number 10 and chapter 1. Strategy. What do you mean by strategy? The method, the plan. So organizing information using T-chart. What is T-chart? How to organize? Organize means to put them in the proper order. Readings often present both positive and negative aspects of something, such as an educational system. So when you read something, you may be knowing both the positives and the negatives. Aspects means sides, parts, characteristics, just to have done it. Sorry, sometimes these are easy to find because the writer uses words, advantages and disadvantages, but frequently these words don't appear. Instead, you need to look for other words and expressions that show opposite viewpoints, such as on the one hand, comma, on the other hand, comma, but, and however. One way to organize this information is in a graphic organizer. One effective graphic organizer to show positive and negative aspects is a T-chart. Why it is called T-chart? It called a T-chart because it is shaped like the letter T. You can work with a T-chart in the next activity. So I repeat, organizing information using a T-chart. Take out a paper and pen. You need to organize the information. What is the information you are getting? You need to put them in the proper order. Reading often present both positive and negative aspects of something. When you read something, you get some information. The information may be positive or negative. Sometimes the reader may be getting information negatively, sometimes the reader may be given some positive information by the writer, such as an education system. Here we are talking these paragraphs are about educational system. Sometimes these are to find because the writer uses the words advantages and disadvantages. Advantages are the positive words and disadvantages are the negative words. When the writer is talking about advantages, the writer is giving the information about the positive things. When the writer is talking about disadvantages, he or she is referring to the negative aspects or the weaknesses or the drawbacks or the shortcomings of the issue. But frequently these words don't appear. So always you don't find these two words clearly mentioned, advantages and disadvantages. Instead, you need to look for other words and expressions that show opposite viewpoints. So that's why you have the clues. What is there at the beginning of the paragraph? We have as, on the one hand, on the other hand. Sometimes they may refer to the same opinions by using but. Are you happy now? I'm happy, but I'm not happy that much. See, I'm using the word but. And however, these expressions indicate that there are two aspects. One is positive, the other one is negative. One is talking about advantages, the second one is talking about disadvantages. For this, we need to take a pen and paper, we need to organize it in the form of a T chart. One way to organize this information in a graphic organizer. What do you mean by graphic organizer? You are making it into points. One effective graphic organizer to show positive and negative aspects is a T chart. Called a T chart because it is shaped like the letter T. You can work with the T chart in the next activity. The activity what you are going to do is that only. So how to do this? Organizing information using T chart. In the T chart on page number 11, that is the next page, write the 4 countries from the reading on the left. What are the 4 countries we have? Go back to the text on page number 7. The first country is Mexico. The second country is Japan. The third one is Britain. And the last one is United States. So each line you need to write each country's name at the beginning. And work in groups of 4 and have each student choose one country. But here we can't do this activity because you are the online students, you don't have the choice to sit with your friends. So you need to do all these activities on your own. All the 4 activities you need to find out what are the advantages in Mexico and what are the disadvantages in Mexico. What are the advantages in Japan and disadvantages in Japan. What are the advantages and disadvantages in Britain, and the last one, what are the advantages and disadvantages in United States of America. For that you need to use the flow chart. What do you call this flow chart? T chart, because it is organized in the letter form of T. And when you finish, share your information with the students in your group and complete the chart with their information. You need to check with your answers. So here you need to move to the next page. I will show you this graphic organizer, and then take your time and give a pause to this lecture again. The same rules are applicable each and every time. So you need to give a pause and you need to answer the questions, and when the answers are done you need to go back and check with the key. It is there on the graphic organizer on the next. I will use the pointer to show you the answers. Yes, see, this is positive aspects and negative aspects. You make it like this because on the left you write positive aspects, on the right you write negative aspects. You are referring to 4 different educational systems. First you do with Mexico, that means you need to go back to the passage and read it again. Write down the positive aspects and then write what is negative over there. Then on the second you write Japan, you write positive and negative. And in the third you write Britain, positive and negative. And in the fourth you write United States of America, again positive and negative. So here you need to give space. It takes almost 1 hour time. You need to read the paragraphs again and you need to write them again and again. So don't worry about your language, don't worry about your mistakes, don't worry about your spellings, because this is your handout. I'm going to give you the answers in the next slide. So when you compare the answers, you please correct them, but you need to try to write something on your own. This is called a T chart. This is called organizing of the ideas. So when you have the positive and negative ideas or disadvantages and advantages, They will be represented with these expressions: on one hand, on another hand, or however, or and, or but. Look for those instructions and write. Here you need to pause your lecture, then move to the next slide. So take your time to finish this activity. Then after done, please play the video. Then you can see the answers on the coming slides. Using a T chart. First positive, then negative. I think you have done with your answers. Now you can check your answers one by one. The first country is Mexico. Where do you find this country in paragraph number B? So please write what are negative and what are positive. First you need to write positive, then followed by negative. The positive rules are positive points. That means advantages are education is free, compulsory and universal. Then the second point supports a national unity. Third one leads to social, economic and cultural improvement. Check your answers whether you have written the same answers or not. If your answers are not correct, please correct them from this key. If you haven't written any of these points, you please include them in the T chart. And what are the negative points of educational system in Mexico? Difficult to provide education in rural areas. Difficult to provide education in rural areas. Why? Not enough schools or teachers. Some native people don't include school attendance. They don't go to school. So the students are not being going to school. The parents are not interested to send their children to the school. These are the negative points. These are the drawbacks in Mexico. Okay, done with the first one. Now let us move to the second one. What is the next one? In Japan, and what is negative in Japan? Positive means the advantages. Negative means the disadvantages. 88% finish high school. 88% of the school going children finish their high school. Good number. Public schools are free and egalitarian. Public schools are free and they give equal opportunity to all. You get the same treatment, all are equally treated. Children with high test scores bring high status to family. When children are getting good marks and good grades, their parents feel very happy. And what are the negative points in educational system in Japan? Difficult exams. Pass through the exams is not easy. Students need discipline. Mostly students don't have any discipline. They don't have any self-control. So that may be reflecting the unorganized system in the society as well. These are the negative points. This is about the second country, Japan, Asian country. The first one is American country. Now let us move to the third one. What is the third one? Britain. Check your answers in your handout whether you have written the correct answers. You please compare them and correct them. If there are any mistakes, please correct them. Then we can move to the next questions. The positive side of educational system in Britain. All state school, primary or secondary or universities are free. That means the schools that are governed by the government, controlled by the government, education is completely free. That means you need not to pay any money to any of your education. The first 9 years are egalitarian. So when you are admitted, all the students are treated equally for 9 years only, not throughout their life. Graduates from good universities get best jobs. If you are graduated from a well-known or reputed university, definitely you will be getting a chance to get a job. So negative. Students take national exam at age 11. So still students are not well matured. So at early age they need to take the national exam. So that means the students are not physically and emotionally not ready, but they need to take the exam. This is the negative point. And the next negative point is half of Oxford and Cambridge students come from upper class because of their well-to-do education. So they are not from rural and they are not from the middle class or they are not from normal class. They are not from the poor families. They are mostly from either they are from upper class. So if you compare the two famous universities of England, Oxford and Britain. Now let us go to the United States. United States primary and secondary schools are free. Positive points 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 80% are high school graduates. Students decide on college or vocational classes. You have your own choice. You can go for higher education or you can get into a school where you can get a training to get a job. That's what vocational school means. 60% of the students attend the college. That means who are graduated from the school, and almost 60%, more than 50%, more than half of the students go to the colleges. Adults also attend college. They never feel shame to take education. This is the most positive side of educational system in America. Even you are aged, so you don't feel shame to go and attend a school even. So these are the positive sides. Let me read them again. Primary and secondary schools are free. 80% are high school graduates. Students decide on college or vocational classes. 60% attend college. Adults also attend the college. And the negative points in educational system in US. Schools are not equal. So they differentiate the students on their origins. Problems in US schools. Gun culture. Crime rate is very high. Schools in poor areas receive less money because they are funded by the governments. Poor countries, poor states will be funding poor, and the teachers are not well paid, then there will not be good quality in such schools. So this is organized T chart. So T chart is in the form of letter T, where you put the points positive and negative, and then you can organize your ideas. For that you need to look for drawbacks or weaknesses. They are called advantages and disadvantages. You may use the word expression on one hand, on the other hand, however, but, and for this. So let me go to the next slide. Cultural note. So what is the cultural difference? Education in North America and Asia. Education in North America, we are not talking about South America. How do we compare? In Western societies such as the United States or Canada, that has many national, religious, and cultural differences, people highly value individualism. The differences among people are independent thinking. Students don't often memorize information. Instead, they find answers themselves and they express their ideas in class discussion. At an early age, students learn from their own ideas and opinions. Then what about in Asian societies? In most Asian societies, by contrast, the people have the same language, history, and culture. Perhaps for this reason, the educational system in much Asia reflects society's belief in group goals and traditions rather than individualism. Children in China, Japan, and Korea often work together and help one another on assignments. In the classroom, the teaching methods are often very formal. The teacher lectures and the students listen. There is not much discussion. Instead, the students recite rules or information that they have memorized. These are the advantages and disadvantages to both systems. Look, I have given you two paragraphs. In these two paragraphs, education system in the North America and in Asia are compared. So, what are the countries in Asia referred? China, Japan, and Korea. So, what is the difference between these two? Western countries means United States and Canada. That many national and religious and cultural differences, people highly value individualism. There, the people are from multi-ethnic societies and multilingual societies. So, you find immigrants. So, people who go from all the corners of the globe, then they can settle over there, and they profess their own religions. You find Muslims, Christians, Hindus, Jews, so many religions. They have cultural differences, food differences, dress differences, language, appearances, colors, so many things. So people highly value individualism. They don't belong to the groups. The differences among people, independent thinking. Most of them think independently. They don't have group activity. Students don't often memorize information. They never by heart. They never recite. That means they don't work only for the exams. It is not just keeping something in your mind and expressing it on the paper. Instead, they find answers themselves. This is creative. And they express their ideas in class discussion. Can take part in the discussion. They argue with the teachers. They even differ with the teachers. Nothing wrong over there. So you have much time to spend in the library and in the laboratory. You have your own freedom. At an early age, students learn from their own ideas and opinions. Students have the channels and they are given freedom, and they can learn from their own way and they can move on the way they like. Then what about Asian countries? In most Asian societies, by contrast, look, what I am telling you is different from what I told you earlier. So what I discussed so far in the first paragraph, I am going to differ in the second paragraph. The people have the same language, mostly, and history and culture. They don't have a multi-ethnic society. They are not from different religions. They are not from different languages. Perhaps for this reason, the educational system in much of Asia reflects society's belief in group goals and traditions rather than individualism. So what do they culturally believe in, what do they religiously believe in, and linguistically believe in would be reflecting in their educational system. Children in China, Japan, and Korea often work together and help one another on assignments. See, in China and Japan and Korea, these are the three countries referred to as Asia. There are many countries in Asia, but all the countries are not referred to. Here we are talking about only Oriental countries. What are they? China, Japan, and Asia. Sorry, China, Japan, and Korea. So these countries, students help each other, one another, in solving the puzzles and the assignments. They're very cooperative, but in America it is not the case. Everyone is an individual. They don't mingle with others. In the classroom, the teaching methods are often very formal, just like in most of the traditional societies. The teacher lectures and the students listen. That means they don't take much part in discussions, interactives, and they don't spend much time in the libraries and the laboratories. There is not much discussion. Whatever teacher teaches you, you need to receive it. Instead, the students recite rules or information that have memorized. You need to by heart. You need to remember. You need to infuse everything into your minds. There are advantages and disadvantages to the both the system. We can't say the first one is better and the second one is no. So when you see the technical advances and achievements, and so many of new innovations are coming from China, Japan, and Korea. So creative work is done in North America. That means United States of America or Canada. So both the systems have their own advantages as well as disadvantages. You can't compare one with the other. Now we need to go to the activity on the same page, page number 11 at the bottom of the page. Saying the reading. In small groups, talk about your answer to these questions about a country you know well. Here you can't make a group, so you need to answer these questions on your own. Look at the answers. So what you have to do, you can do this for the activity for the next lecture. Sorry, you can come with these answers to the next lecture. We can discuss these answers in the next class. Discussing the reading. In small groups, talk about your answers to these questions about a country that you know well. What are the countries we have read about? We started with Mexico, then we went to Japan, then Britain, and finally we landed in America. Are there both private schools and public schools? Is public education free, or do students need to pay tuition? Do most students go to secondary school? Do most students complete high school? Do many students go to college or university? There are only 4 countries and I am making you only 4 questions. Try to answer them. Third one, are there different types of high schools? For example, college, preparatory, or vocational? And the last one, what are some advantages of educational system or disadvantages? You need to write the both. Let me read the questions again for you. There are 4 questions and we have 4 different paragraphs. Are there both private schools and public schools? Is public education free, or do students need to pay tuition? Do most students go to secondary schools? Do most students complete high school? Do many students go to college or university? Are there different types of high schools? For example, college, preparatory, or vocational? What are some advantages of the educational system or disadvantages? So please come to the next class with your answers. Next class in the sense, before I am going to upload the next media lecture. This is media lecture number 3. So you please write down these answers on your handout, and then we can check the key in the next lecture. So let me go to the next slide.